So what you just said at the beginning is there's a big role for intellectuals when it comes to manipulating a public view. Is that the case right now? Is there an intellectual body that is pro-war at this moment?
35% of Americans, according to the most recent polls, will think the United States should directly enter the war, even if it might lead to a nuclear war. A nuclear war means destruction of everything. Destruction of the United States, destruction of Europe, destruction of Russia. We're finished. But 35% of Americans think we should do that. The reason is they hear it from figures in Congress and the media, of many people in the halls of Congress making heroic speeches, Winston Churchill impersonations about how we should set up a no-fly zone. Fortunately, there's one peacekeeping element in the American government. It's known as the Pentagon. The Pentagon is blocking it because they don't want to destroy the world. They understand, even if congressmen don't, that if you set up a no-fly zone, one of the first things you have to do is destroy Russian anti-aircraft facilities, which are in Russia. So you have to bomb Russia. What happens then? Does it take a genius to figure it out? So fortunately, the Pentagon is the peacekeeping element in the government, but not the halls of Congress. Plenty of intellectuals back this. In fact, it's quite interesting to look at the way this is playing out in the intellectual world, speaking of language. Take the phrase unprovoked invasion of Ukraine, the unprovoked Russian invasion of Ukraine. That's de rigueur. Anybody who wants to talk about it has to call it the unprovoked invasion of Ukraine. Just out of curiosity, I did a Google search for the phrase unprovoked invasion of Ukraine. 2.5 million cases in 30 seconds. Then I did another search, unprovoked invasion of Iraq, 11,000, all of them from anti-war people. That's kind of interesting in itself, but it's even more interesting because it totally inverts the facts. The invasion of Iraq was totally unprovoked. So the invasion of Iraq was totally unprovoked. In contrast, the invasion of Ukraine was demonstrably provoked. Read the Secretary General of NATO, Jens Stoltenberg, pointed out that since 2014, NATO, meaning the United States, has been sending advanced weapons to Ukraine, carrying out military operations with Ukraine. Last September 1st, you can find it on the White House webpage, Joe Biden's administration produced a policy statement calling for enhanced integration of Ukraine into NATO, increased joint military exercises with the U.S., new military, higher, more weapons sent, and so on. Extended this in March. The Department of State has officially stated that prior to the invasion, the United States refused to consider any Russian security concerns. Approximately the words. So yes, it was definitely a provoked invasion. Doesn't legitimize it. It's pure aggression, criminal aggression, but the facts are exactly 100% the opposite of 100% intellectual behavior. Okay? Well, That tells you how, it's a good one of many indications of how the intellectual world, including mostly liberals, line up in support of state power, just as they did in World War I in all countries, just as they've done in many other cases. When it becomes time to hate China, we'll all hate China. If it becomes time to hate the Netherlands, we'll all hate the Netherlands.